You know what makes a huge difference in your life as you get older? The people you choose to spend time with. I've learned this lesson the hard way, and today I want to share 5 specific types of people you'll want to keep at arm's length. These folks can drain your energy, mess with your peace of mind, and honestly, just make life harder than it needs to be. I bet you already know someone who fits at least one of these types. Maybe it's that friend who never stops complaining, or that relative who always needs something from you. Don't worry. I'll help you spot these people and show you exactly what to do about them. I'm Hunter Carrington, and welcome to my channel. I've dedicated myself to sharing wisdom about living well in our golden years. From practical tips to heartwarming conversations, we'll discover together how to make these golden years truly shine. Subscribe to stay connected and inspired. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference for me. Let's get real about protecting your happiness and creating better relationships. Here are the 5 types of people you'll want to watch out for. Number 1. The constant complainer. You've probably met one. That person who turns every conversation into a gripe session. Their coffee's always too cold, their boss never appreciates them, and don't even get them started about the weather. They'll spend 20 minutes telling you how terrible their lunch was, right down to the sandwich that didn't have enough mayo. These folks have turned complaining into an art form. They'll start with something small like the traffic on their way to work. Then before you know it, they're going on about their neighbor's dog, their sore back, and how kids these days just don't understand anything. The worst part? They're not looking for solutions. Try to offer advice and they'll have 10 reasons why nothing will work. Here's what happens when you spend too much time with these people. The negativity seeps into your day. You might start noticing yourself feeling tired after talking to them, or catch yourself picking up their habit of seeing problems everywhere. It's like sitting next to someone who's sneezing. Eventually, you'll catch what they've got. So what can you do? Start by setting some time limits. Maybe you only grab coffee with them once a month instead of every week. When they start their complaint marathon, try changing the subject to something positive, like that new restaurant you tried or a fun weekend plan. If they keep steering back to the negative stuff, you can be straight with them. Hey, I know things are rough, but let's talk about something good that happened today. The key is protecting your own peace of mind while still being kind. You don't have to cut them off completely, but you do need to create some healthy distance. Think of it like turning down the volume on a too loud radio. You're not throwing out the radio, you're just adjusting it to a level that works better for you. Number 2. The selfish manipulator. Picture that friend who only calls when they need something. They start with sweet talk, shower you with compliments, then suddenly they're asking to borrow money or need a huge favor. They've got this way of making everything about them. If you're having a bad day, they'll somehow turn the conversation around to their problems. When you share good news, they barely acknowledge it before jumping into what they want from you. And oh boy, do they know how to push your buttons. They'll remind you of that time they helped you move 3 years ago, making you feel like you owe them forever. These masters of guilt trips have a special talent for making you doubt yourself. I thought we were close friends, they might say when you can't drop everything to help them. Or they'll hit you with the classic, I guess I'm just not as important to you as your other friends. Before you know it, you're canceling your plans and doing exactly what they wanted. The real kicker? After they get what they need, poof, they disappear. No thank you, no follow-up, nothing. Until the next time they need something, of course. That's when the sweet talk starts all over again. Your time and energy matter. When you start noticing that pit in your stomach every time their name pops up on your phone, that's your gut telling you something's off. Start by taking a pause before saying yes to their requests. Ask yourself, would they do the same for me? If they get pushy, keep it simple. Sorry, that doesn't work for me. No explanation needed. Remember those times you felt drained after helping them? That's not just in your head. It's what happens when someone takes and takes without giving back. Setting boundaries isn't mean. It's necessary. You can say no without feeling guilty. You can be kind without being a doormat. The trick is spotting their patterns early. Notice how they only reach out when they need something, how they use flattery or guilt to get their way. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, and that's good, because awareness is your first step toward breaking free from their manipulation game. Number 3, the privacy invader. The privacy invader shows up everywhere, eager to dig into your life's details. They're the ones asking deeply personal questions at family gatherings, leaning in close with that glint in their eye. So, what's really going on with you and your partner? They whisper, practically salivating for the latest scoop. These folks treat your private life like their favorite TV show. They want all the juicy details, your relationship status, career moves, family drama, health concerns. Nothing seems off limits. They'll corner you at work, bombard you with texts, or call just to check in, when really they're fishing for information. The real problem starts after they get their hands on your personal info. That's when the whispers begin. Your private struggle with anxiety? Now Karen from accounting knows all about it. That fight you had with your sister? Somehow it made its way to the whole neighborhood gossip circuit. They spread stories faster than social media, adding their own dramatic spin along the way. Think of them as information brokers. They collect sensitive details from one person and then trade them for others' secrets. Before you know it, your private matters become coffee break conversations. And when you confront them, they'll act innocent. Oh, I thought everyone knew. Or, I was just concerned about you. Here's what makes them dangerous. They seem so caring at first. They listen intently, ask thoughtful questions, and make you feel heard. It's easy to open up to someone who appears genuinely interested in your life. But soon you notice patterns. How quickly your secrets travel, how often your words get twisted, and how drama seems to follow them everywhere. The solution starts with an information diet. Feed them only what you'd be comfortable seeing on a billboard. Keep conversations light and general. When they probe about personal matters, redirect smoothly. Nothing new to report, or same old, same old. Better yet, turn the questions back on them. Most gossips love talking about themselves. Remember this: your personal life belongs to you. Not every question deserves an answer. Not every detail needs sharing. Those precious private moments, they're yours to keep. Save them for the people who've earned your trust through years of keeping your confidence. Number 4, the negative influencer. The negative influencer swoops into your life like a storm cloud, making everything seem darker than it really is. Don't bother trying that new business idea, they'll say. The economy's terrible right now. Or, when you share your fitness goals, oh, come on, have another slice of cake. Life's too short to count calories. These people have a special talent for making bad choices sound reasonable. They'll convince you to skip the gym, spend money you don't have, or stay in that dead-end job because, hey, at least it's stable. Their favorite phrase? What's the point? They've given up on their own dreams, so they'll do their best to talk you out of yours. Watch how they operate at work. Someone brings up a new project idea and they immediately list 50 reasons why it won't work. During lunch, they'll encourage everyone to overspend because we deserve it. Afterward, they insist you join them for just one drink, which turns into 5. Their pessimism is sneaky. It creeps into your thinking slowly. You might catch yourself using their excuses. Why bother saving money? Or, everyone else is showing up late to work. Small compromises lead to bigger ones. That morning workout becomes optional. That savings goal gets pushed back. Your standards start slipping without you noticing. The scariest part? They make toxic behavior feel normal. Gossiping about coworkers becomes just venting. Showing up hungover becomes living life. Putting off important decisions becomes going with the flow. They normalize the very habits that keep them, and now you, stuck in place. Your success threatens them. When you start making progress, they'll try to pull you back down. You're changing, they'll say, making it sound like a bad thing. They'll remind you of past failures, point out potential problems, anything to keep you in their comfort zone. Take stock of how you feel after spending time with them. Tired? Discouraged? Less confident about your goals? That's no coincidence. Their energy sticks to you like smoke on clothes after a bonfire. The solution isn't complicated, but it takes courage. Start spending more time with people who challenge you to grow. Fill your social calendar with folks who say, "Why not?" instead of "Why bother?" When the negative influencer calls with another doom and gloom story, keep the conversation short. Your dreams deserve better company. Number 5. The competitive braggart. Finally, meet the competitive braggart. That person who turns every conversation into a contest. Share a story about your weekend trip to the beach, and they'll jump in with tales of their month-long European vacation. Buy a new car, they'll remind you how their luxury model has better features. These folks live for the one-up game. Got a promotion? They'll mention their bigger salary. Your kid made the honor roll? Their child skipped 2 grades and speaks 3 languages. Running your first 5K? They'll tell you about their upcoming marathon while critiquing your running form. Social media becomes their personal scoreboard. They post endless photos of their achievements, expensive purchases, and picture-perfect family moments. But here's what you don't see. The credit card debt behind those luxury vacations, or the stress fracture from overtraining for that marathon they won't stop mentioning. They've mastered the subtle dig. "Oh, you're still renting? We bought our second investment property last month." Or the backhanded compliment, "That's a cute starter home you got there." Everything becomes a measuring stick. Careers, relationships, parenting styles, even holiday decorations. Watch how they react when good things happen to others. Instead of celebrating, they'll find ways to steal the spotlight. At a friend's wedding, they'll talk about how their ceremony was bigger. Someone's kid got into college. They'll mention their child's full scholarship to a better school. You might start second-guessing your choices or feeling like your accomplishments aren't good enough. That new job you were excited about suddenly feels small. Your cozy apartment seems inadequate. Your simple family vacation looks boring. Here's the truth. Your path is your own. Your first 5K matters. Your rental apartment works for you right now. Your weekend beach trip brought you joy. Success isn't a competition. It's about building a life that makes sense for you. When they start competing, change the game. Keep your wins private sometimes. Share your joy with people who know how to celebrate without keeping score. And when they brag, a simple "that's nice" works wonders. No comparisons needed. Remember, genuine success stories don't need constant broadcasting. The people doing the most impressive things often talk about them the least. Your achievements matter because they're yours, not because they're better or worse than someone else's. You know, surrounding yourself with the right people becomes more important every year. We've walked through 5 types of people who can really impact your happiness, and not in a good way. These are the ones who complain about everything under the sun, pull strings to get what they want, share your secrets like yesterday's news, drag you down with their negative outlook, and turn your life into their personal competition. Think about the relief you'll feel when you start creating some healthy space between you and these folks. Imagine your days without constant complaints draining your energy. Picture your phone lighting up with messages from people who genuinely care, not just those who need something from you. I can't count how many people have told me their lives changed when they started paying attention to who they spent time with. One friend said it felt like putting down a heavy backpack she didn't even know she was carrying. Another mentioned sleeping better once he stopped letting the constant complainers rent space in his head. This isn't about cutting people off completely. It's about protecting your peace. Start small. Maybe you'll spend less time with the office gossip, or you'll stop sharing personal details with that cousin who can't keep a secret. Each tiny adjustment adds up to bigger changes in your life. The good news? Once you spot these patterns, you can't unsee them. And when you make room by stepping back from these draining relationships, you create space for better ones. The kind where you can be yourself, share your wins without competition, and talk about your struggles without judgment. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these types hit close to home? Drop a comment below with your story. I bet others in our community have dealt with similar situations. You might help someone else spot these patterns in their own life. If this video helped you, smash that like button and hit subscribe for more real talk about living your best life. Share it with someone who might need this message today. Sometimes the right information at the right time can make all the difference. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.